This is going to be the most in-depth AI guide for sales professionals on the internet as of the middle of 2025. I was initially skeptical, if I'm being honest, of using AI in my day-to-day workflow, and I've gotten to the point now where it is saving me at least 10 hours a week of work because I have really gone deep. I've attended in-person classes, virtual classes on prompt engineering, and this video is intended to summarize some of the biggest changes I've made in using AI that have gone from me initially giving it, a transcript or something of that nature. And we've all been there where we have ChatGPT write an email and it's pretty good. But by the time we read through it, by the time we make it sound like our voice, by the time we actually polish it enough to send it out, it's pretty much the same time you were spending writing an email in the first place. I have spent a lot of time with it now to the point where I have found how to actually get consistently great outputs and actually save significant amounts of time. I'm going to walk through this document, but for your reference, it is linked in the description if you want me to send it to you. And I promise you guys, no spam. I literally do this from my personal email, and I want to collaborate with you and learn more use cases that I can build and put out here on YouTube. So if you want this sent to your email and you also want to send me other ideas for future videos, just check that out in the description. I've made a quick summary here of the biggest findings, in my opinion, for AI that have made me go from being rather skeptical and not super gung ho on it to now using it for pretty much everything. First and foremost, I think the biggest thing I undervalued was a well structured prompt. I didn't even know what that meant. What is a well structured prompt? And we're going to get into that today. But two, I think the other biggest game changer I've made is going from going into ChatGPT and saying, hey, like, let me just start a new ChatGPT conversation, right? I would pretty much do this for everything. And where I have seen the most benefit is actually changing. And the only thing I recommend you pay for at this point in time is just the $20 a month plan. But that allows you to create custom GPTs and also custom projects for specific tasks. So going back to this slide here, just as an example, I have a GPT that I send it a discovery call transcript, and it's going to summarize both a follow-up email and executive summary, Salesforce notes, and all of those different things. I have, for this business on YouTube, created a ChatGPT where I do a testimonial where we have a successful student share their experience. I feed that transcript into our custom project, and it immediately spits out an email for our email sequence. So these are the biggest things that I found in terms of for repeatable tasks that are high leverage, whether it's email, whether it's, executive summaries, whether it's territory building or planning or whatever it might be. Create a dedicated project and then give it a very well structured prompt. And we're going to get into that. Biggest game changer by far I have found in the last month is using a tool, completely free tool, by the way, Prompt Cowboy. We're going to get into this as well. But this will take a simple prompt like, I need to write a follow-up email to the CTO of Salesforce from our 1 hour call today. It's going to take this prompt, and even though there's a typo, it will make an extremely well-structured prompt that you can then go in and get highly, highly tailored results. This has by far been the biggest game changer. And if you take nothing else from this video, start using a tool like Prompt Cowboy. There's others out there to format these different prompts. And then you literally just copy this and come over into ChatGPT. And now you've got a killer prompt ready to go. So we'll get into that further. But that is a huge game changer. Last thing I'd say, guys, I'm not sponsored by anyone. We don't take sponsorships on this channel as of 2025. And the only thing I recommend is that you get the $20 a month ChatGPT plan. I want to give you guys a couple examples. And again, what I break down in this document here is a couple of major things with the prompt itself. So whether you're just doing a single prompt or maybe you're creating a custom GPT or project, when you actually give AI a role and make it understand who it is, maybe it's a sales rep, maybe it's a marketing strategist, et cetera, et cetera. And then from there, when ChatGPT knows what it is, you can better define with these specific parameters exactly what you want it to do. And again, just restating, that's exactly what this Prompt Cowboy does. You can give it a couple of sentences and it makes a very well-structured prompt for you. But then from there, what I'm doing is going in and making an actual custom GPT. And as an example, many of you who watch this channel know that we have thousands of successful students where we have a conversation with them about their experience. What I'm doing now is actually coming in and I've already given it a bunch of instructions thanks to Prompt Cowboy. And I can actually just grab generated captions here, send it in, and now immediately it's going to give me an email that is perfect for our email sequence, because I've given it not only a great prompt, but also in my instructions, I gave it several different examples of emails that we have that are high performing and that I really like. We'll jump back to that in just a second, but I went ahead and just for reference, again, I created a dedicated project here. You just simply hit new project, give it a name, and then in instructions, I come in here and I'm grabbing a very detailed prompt from Prompt Cowboy and giving it past examples. So a very common example, if you have a discovery call transcript and you want it to create all of the follow-up items, I would go in here in Prompt Cowboy and I would say, hey, I'm going to create a custom GPT and I am going to give you 30-minute discovery call transcripts and need you to summarize them. After every call, I need a follow-up email and also need to update my Salesforce opportunity with BANT and MEDDIC information. I'm going to have Prompt Cowboy go ahead and create a great prompt using this. And obviously, you can copy and paste it in and or feel free to add even more detail than I've provided even in your lazy prompt here. But now it's creating a bunch of detailed instructions. I'm going to let this thing rip. And you have just an insanely effective bot right out of the gate. And that is the biggest difference I've seen, guys. When you actually take the time to create a custom prompt, everything gets much better. And on top of that, again, when you create a dedicated project where you're saying, hey, discovery call summary tool, we're going to create the project here. Prompt Cowboy has now gotten done. We're just going to say, for the sake of this example, I'm not going to change anything, but I'm just going to come in these instructions, blast them in here, and now I can give it a discovery call and literally just hit go. I can just export the transcript, upload it here, and hit go, and you're going to get extremely detailed information. So this has been incredibly powerful. Some of the biggest advances I've made is, again, being very intentional about not just going to ChatGPT and giving it a good prompt, but with these separate projects for dedicated tasks, for repeatable tasks, and certainly deep work tasks as well. Like I would even come into Prompt Cowboy and say, for deep research, like I'm going to upload a list of 300 accounts and need you to plan my territory. Here's a past prioritized territory and also the criteria I use to assess account strength. Insert criteria. I'm going to give it here, and then Prompt Cowboy is going to give me a really detailed one, at which point now I will go into this deep research mode and throw it here. So again, guys, I break all this down and more in terms of not only how to structure great prompts, the difference between zero shot and few shot prompting. Again, I'm not discouraging you from just going in here and using ChatGPT straight up. But the biggest thing is, if it's a complex task, if it's something that you find where every time you're getting the output, it's okay, but it's not good enough, providing examples, and especially if this is like a very common repeatable task, creating dedicated projects and GPTs is the way to go, and exclusively use those projects and GPTs just for that task. So again, links in the description if you guys want this document and more. Again, I'm not going to spam you with anything else. I'm literally trying to find and validate more high value use cases, and we'll continue to share them on YouTube. Hope you guys got a lot out of this one. Comment below. Let me know, like and subscribe if you got a lot of value and all that jazz. And yeah, guys, hope this helps you out. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks.